Welcome to the Scent of Beauty. My name is Susan, and this video is titled The State/Condition of Pessimism, Part 2. How does an individual lose their scent of beauty? By constantly experiencing burnt relationships, the constant threat of what ifs, resolving into a belief of dooms, not just doomsday, but dooms week, dooms month, dooms year, a constant state of rehearsing the losses. When we no longer have the banter back and forth, communicating with the person or people that are no longer there, we become frozen in moments. The burned batches, the quest for love, the tiresome action we implement in hopes of becoming love-worthy. With this time, this one, this place, I'll experience requite love. That it will be returned and reciprocated. When we have mixed together the recipe of love that we have been taught, but the mixture in the end is not what we had desire and we had to let go. Those are the losses that I want to talk about in this video. I want us to get the image of the burnt batches. It's like making muffins, right? And we have the tray, we have the pan that is molded for individual batter to bake in. We have created the mix, we measured the batter, it's all equal in each mold, but at the end result, it's a burnt batch. You can't salvage when a batch is burnt. There is not one that you could take out and salvage, because the same time, the same pan, the same batter, the state and condition of pessimism and negativity, it stems from sameness. And in part 1, I mentioned that we make these statements, I'm unlucky in love. This happens to me all the time. And in this state, we start to lose our hearing for love as a verb. And I made a video in regards to that topic, love as a verb. We start to lose the action of love, not for that individual, but ourselves. But we stop hearing the things that we say and the ideas that we have internalized about who we are, because we have become our experiences. I've mentioned that the word negative, people that are in the state and condition of pessimism, there's a label that is attached to these individuals. For the most part, you're so negative. Everything you say, you're just a negative person. And people tend to run away from someone in the state of pessimism. But I want to mention in this video that negativity is not only what is said verbally, it's also a body language, a facial expression, an attitude, and over and undertone. It's loud, but then again, it's coy in its monotones. The sign is dispirited, when someone becomes disenchanted with themselves. So that's the sign, but the symptom is ill-disposed, like an ailment, disposed. It's a defeatist. It's not an acceptance of a relationship or relationship's failure. It is a belief that the symptom is of an individual that believe they are the failure. And the worst symptom is an inherent aversion to intimacy with themselves and with other people. State/condition of pessimism, when an individual have lost their sense of beauty. I noticed that becoming accustomed to the condition of pessimism, it becomes a disability. And I started to think about the hearing losing, when someone starts to lose their hearing, when the hearing becomes impaired. The person usually become accustomed to losing their hearing over time, one day at a time. Do you know that when someone's hearing starts to decrease, it usually takes 8 years before someone finally gets a hearing aid? Our human will and our ability to adapt is amazing. We develop the ability to overcompensate. How do you compensate for sudden or successive amount of losses? How do I compensate or overcompensate when those behaviors are not even consciously known? I decided to watch a short film about someone in the world of hearing loss and how they adapt in a world that is built on hearing stimulation for the most part. So in the movie, one of the things I realized that the disability of hearing is invisible. It's not like someone that have lost their sight with a cane, with a dog. It's really invisible. Also, I realized that the character, he didn't look up. He didn't make eye contact. He didn't speak. He just went on going through the motion, going through his day. He seemed to become accustomed to being invisible. He went to all of the social gathering. He went to a restaurant. He was at school. But again, no interaction. And the most ironic part about it, there was someone that was watching him, that was about to write a note, but his head was down. He became familiar with his condition, with his state. Could it be that he had experienced some burnt batches himself? But what I found most profound in this movie is towards the end, this individual that was so interested in this person that had a hearing, that his hearing was impaired, this individual finally got up the courage and went to introduce themselves. And this individual, said their name, and the person that could not hear stretched out, no, actually didn't even stretch out his hand. He just pointed to his disability and said, I am deaf. He didn't even mention his name. He didn't even stretch out his hands because he identified first primarily with his hearing loss than with another individual. So it's customary to recoil when there is an impediment, the scent of loss or losses. An audiogram measures frequencies in decibels. And because of this video, and because I've been thinking about how our sound wave changes when someone is in the state of pessimism, I started to listen to what is called love songs. And I realized something about the melody, but also the lyrics, and how the melody, how at times the melodies support love, but the lyrics does not. I heard Adele sing a song, and I'm not sure if she wrote it. I don't think so, but I wanted to just read some of the lyrics. The song is titled To Make You Feel My Love. Sidebar, I love Adele. Okay, and the lyrics go like this. When the rain is blowing in your face and the whole world is on your case, I could offer you a warm embrace to make you feel my love. Nice piano, the nice tone, the frequency is very warm and inviting. And then she said, when the evening shadow and the stars appear and there is no one there to dry your tears, I could hold you for 1,000,000 years to make you feel my love. And then her octave went very high with these words. I know you haven't made your mind up yet, but I will never do you wrong. I've known it from the moment that we met. No doubt in my mind where you belong. I'll go hungry, I'll go black and blue, I'll go crawling down the avenue. No, there's nothing that I wouldn't do to make you feel my love. The storms are raging on the rolling sea, and on the highway of regrets, the winds of change are blowing wild and free. You ain't seen nothing like me yet. That's an interesting batter. In part 3, I'm going to talk about conductive hearing loss, because did you hear these lines? I know you haven't made your mind up about me yet. The highway of regret. You ain't seen nothing like me yet. In the state of pessimism, even if we are deciding to go into a relationship, an individual make it known that they live in regret, and the customary existing condition, the loss of self-worth. Welcome to the Scent of Beauty. I will be doing part 3 in this series. Thank you for listening.